At Let's Tell Their Story, we'd like to advise that some content may contain rape, domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, child abduction, and murder. Not all content is suitable for all audiences. Please be advised while listening. Thank you.
How did you get down here? I shut the door so she couldn't get down here. And I brought Pearl's bone down so she'd behave, but nope. There's no Pearl, but there's still a bone. Your brother got her a half leg.
Okay.
Yeah. It's huge. It's that big. And it's probably that round.
I'm guessing she really likes it.
Are we recording it? Oh, okay. Why you're giggling? You didn't give me a heads up. Recording.
Nope.
This is why I prefer doing this on Monday mornings. Oh, coffee. The caffeine of champions.
And I got Dr. Pepper.
So, have you ever heard of Larry Hall?
Larry Hall. No, but I just think it's really funny that
Oh, just wait, I got a kitty stuck in cords. Okay, she got herself out. Never mind. Okay, you think it's really funny what?
that we were just talking about me being down in Whitehall yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And the person's name is Larry Hall.
Oh, haha, that is funny. All right. So, do you want to know about Larry Hall?
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't, but so he was born December 11th, 1962. He was some sources say an identical twin, but then other ones say he wasn't an identical twin, but him and his brother Gary, because his mother was so original with names. So Gary, they shared a placenta. You know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bella is going to get in the camera here soon, just letting you know. And so they shared a placenta, and from all accounts, it sounds like Gary was the dominant twin in the placenta, so he fed off of Larry. So when Larry was born, he went into the neonatal care thing, and it's possible that's what made him intellectually not, or his IQ levels when he was finally diagnosed with something, we'll get to that eventually, but was only around 80. 70 or 80. I've seen and heard multiple, my hand's like really going, multiple different IQ levels between 70 and 80, but he was a very slow child to the point that he was picked on in school, like really hardcore. But Gary, he was the good looking twin. And this is where I differ on whether they were identical or not, because if they're identical, how is Gary the good looking twin and Larry's not? I've actually never seen pictures of Gary, but Larry is not good looking at all. Don't you laugh, because I know what you're laughing about. It's not funny. And but he was in their younger years, they grew up, their dad, Robert, so their dad's name was Robert Hall, and their mom's name was Era. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Aera. Would that be Era or Ara?
Don't ask me. There's when people name their kids and it's a weird spell. Like yesterday, I had a kid named Alfredo.
I'm pretty sure you've given me names that you and Chloe have picked out, and those are ridiculous names.
At least we haven't thought about.
Just say.
At least we didn't think to name the kid Alfredo. I feel bad for that kid. His name is legitly Alfredo.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna call her Era because that just sounds right. She was a homemaker, so she stayed at home, and you would think early 60s, a woman like that, just from any movie we've ever seen or anything like that, you get a impression of what a 1960s homemaker should be. Any idea?
No, I'm just showing what Larry Hall looks like.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Anyway, so okay, so when you get an idea of a 1960s homemaker, my idea is baking bread, very clean cut dresses, just an all around put together woman. Ara was not that kind of woman. She was a lazy, lazy woman. Like, their house was disgusting. And their dad was a gravedigger, and they lived in the house attached to the cemetery because it was the gravedigger's quote unquote house. And there was a word I was looking for, and it slipped my mind.
I don't.
And, huh?
So when you're talking about grave digger, you're talking about like one that actually buries bodies, right?
Yeah. Like one that actually, no, he literally dug the graves. He dug the graves, he buried the bodies. He was also he was the one that, like your grandpa and I just recently went through this within the last year, going and talking to one of the, not the gravedigger, but what? I don't want to throw a name out there, but you know who I'm talking about in the town that Grandpa used to live in?
Sear. It's called Sears.
Starts with an S.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Me and her were in the same class.
Oh, yeah, all three of you guys were. Yeah. All three of you guys were in the same classes with them.
Yeah, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, her dad, Grandpa and I just had a meeting with him, and so this Robert Hall was the Wabash Falls Cemetery, because, okay, I screwed up there. And
I know.
Yeah, it starts at 9. And goes until 3 tomorrow p.m.
We have winter advisory.
oh, ours is coming.
Yeah, what are you still going?
And
Yeah.
She's smiling. Like
he's smiling or I'm smiling. She's like, I screwing her up.
On Wednesday to take fucking pictures.
Yep.
There's a winter advisory warning or whatever out until 3 tomorrow, 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Got it. Got it. Thank you, Chloe.
She says thank you.
I'm worried about you, mister.
Okay, I screwed up a little bit. I forgot to say when Larry and Gary were born, they grew up in Wabash, Indiana. And that's where the
Problem's not in
cemetery
it
was
yet.
that.
Haha. I'm looked out. See? I looked out. I looked out. Where am I?
It's not in Baldwin. You have to go to work. It's like right below work. It's like through where my
I know.
father. No, the best part is it's right through where my father lives.
I know, but I'm telling you, it's not through work yet.
Okay. Are you okay there?
It's heavy wind,
Chloe's
heavy
hand is like.
snow and strong winds.
I
late
can see
Tuesday
her
evening into
elbow.
Wednesday.
Yep.
It's coming from Minnesota.
Yeah, I know.
Rain will quickly change to snow from west central Minnesota to south central Minnesota this evening into tonight. They suggest wind from the north and become strong with gusts between 45 to 55
It's actually a pretty fast wind.
miles per hour, yes.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, are you sure you
Yes.
want Ossie's not in it,
Yes, I know.
but you still want to go.
I have to go. I have to pick some things up in Aussie.
What? You
A
got-
new trigger. Because I totally forgot to pick up a trigger yesterday.
Weren't you there?
No. I'm pretty sure I just got my mother very confused when I said trigger.
I'm thinking you're probably thinking a camera trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm telling you. And
I'll
I
be
don't
fine.
know about work tonight.
I'll be fine. I have to go to work tonight. Pretty much, it's just me and Ty there tonight. Nobody else.
So even if you do half a day, they'll be fine because of the weather.
More than likely, Ty will kick me back home.
Dude, it's supposed to start at 9.
I know. Ty says if the weather gets too bad, she's going to tell me to go home.
So 12 hours from now, Ty will probably go, fuck you, go home. Good night. Because of the weather. Before it even starts. You know that, right?
Okay. You gonna go get ready for work?
I don't want to.
Go get ready for work.
I'm just happy I don't work tomorrow because that's supposed to be the worst day.
Okay. Graveyard.
Gone yet?
Grave digger.
Please keep most of that in.
This is all Monday. Today's Tuesday.
I was. Where was I Monday?
So?
I left the house at 5.
So?
You're in Whitehall. Even I know that.
On Tuesdays. I mean Mondays.
Oh,
When did you go? Not my rules. I are your guys' rules. You don't do it on Mondays.
I didn't get home until 5.
Bye, Chloe. Bye, Chloe.
Okay, you're talking.
Okay, where was I at?
Something about they were
Grave
born.
diggers. And what they. Okay, so what he was the guy that would set up your.
Casket.
Did you say basket? I called it casket.
I said casket.
Maybe I should have cleaned my ears up before I put my headphones on. No, okay.
I said casket.
It is no longer a casket, it's now a basket. Really, honestly, though, there's not really much difference.
Hello. Do I have an umbrella in my car?
Yes, you have an umbrella in your car.
Do I have them all?
Yes, you do have all the umbrellas in your car.
We only have like 2, 3.
It's gonna snow. What does she
I don't
need an
know,
umbrella
It's
for?
raining.
Put up.
No,
Oh, I
but
did that here
it's
yesterday.
okay.
I've got sunshine over here.
Most of them are in your car, except for the purple one that's in my car.
Yeah, and you're pissed about that.
Yeah, I want my black umbrella back. The purple one's tiny.
What? It only fits me.
Then why do I keep getting stuck with the purple one if it fits you?
I needed an umbrella because it was raining, and I didn't know where mine was. And I just bought an umbrella, and they're like, "Oh, you just bought it because rain." Yeah, it worked out.
This is the joys of having a significant other. They don't leave you alone.
Yes, now I am going.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Hey, random thing.
Robert was in.
The jewelry is coming with us to the car show. And we're selling it.
Okay.
She know you're recording.
Yeah, she does.
I only interrupted you.
Oh,
for
okay.
5
She's just being a
minutes.
pain in my butt.
Yes.
Okay. I love you,
If
Chloe.
I still have it.
I-
If she wants it, she can have it all
Okay.
for $100. That's cheap there.
She's not leaving.
Obviously.
Box for $100. Worth more.
So, Robert was the guy that would set up with, because Wabash wasn't really that big. It's probably somewhere in between the town you live in and the town I live, somewhere in between there.
So for
Like
Oakwa?
the size-wise. I was trying not to throw it. Viroqua and the town I'm in are the same size.
Oh, yeah,
I
they
think
are.
Mine actually has like maybe 500 more people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying not to,
The place that you and Grandpa, that town.
Yeah.
That might make,
a little bit bigger than that, but not much.
because the town I live in
You
is
got like what?
less than
You
500.
got like what? I was gonna say like maybe 30, but
It's like 357.
okay.
Yeah,
And so Robert would set up from like telling like people would give him the money, I think, and he would set up a certain gravesite for them, and that was how it was all taken out. And Arya was a woman that never cleaned. Their house was filthy. Very seldom moved from the couch. Like, from all the things I've heard, there was like she may have like absorbed into the couch and she couldn't actually get up, kind of thing. And when Gary and Larry were about 12 years old, anywhere between 9 and 12, they started digging graves with Robert. And at some point, Larry decided to, well, he started stealing from the graves. He would take rings and like gold rings, gold chains, silver, whatnot, like off of the bodies that were in the baskets. Yeah, I couldn't resist. No, out of the caskets, and pawn them off. And not just that, but like their dad made pretty good money because these kids had 4-wheelers and like the newest of the newest toys, which was pretty good for the 1960s. They both attended the Westward
Holy
Elementary
shit.
School, and
The per hour for a gravedigger for Wisconsin is $18 to $48.
wow. Now, what was that back in the 1960s, though? That's current. what was 1960s. I'm going to say $9 to $12. I know you're looking it up.
It does not actually. Okay, so if it's that
Or just look up what minimum wage was back in the 1960s.
Okay, so it was a dollar.
Dollar?
Yep.
Okay, so
Oh
yeah.
wait.
So he probably was making anywhere from $9 to $12.
Yeah, and no. Inflation. Can I? Bye.
About time.
Okay, so I'm going to put down. So it said average is $35.
I'm in the wrong business.
Holy, it was about $4 an hour for him.
Oh, that's that's what 3 times the minimum wage. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's time. We haven't come very far with minimum wage, then, have we?
No.
Wow. Because what minimum wage right now in Wisconsin is $7.25, or is it up to $9.50? I know it's one of the two. I know it was $7.25 for the longest time.
So minimum wage. So federal is $7.25.
Okay.
Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is the same as.
Still probably to be there because we're back row. We're behind the.
Yeah. So yeah, it's.
We're behind the horse and everything.
Yeah, but the one thing is there is still also the weird law for servers, for minimum wage for servers.
Okay.
Because minimum wage for a server is $2.50.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Larry started stealing like the valuables and stuff from the coffins. And when he was doing this with him and Gary helping dig dig graves, not Dave's. I'm sure there was a Dave a time or two that was a grave was dug for, but so it pretty much desensitized him to human cadavers, which I'm hoping our listeners know what a cadaver is, because I really don't.
Nah.
I think we've got.
I'm pretty sure most people know what cadavers are.
Oh. Okay. Well, eventually, Robert ended up losing his job after 40 years of doing this, because his alcoholism finally caught up with him, and he was putting cadavers in the wrong graves. And nobody really knows how long he had been doing that. And now my question is, how did somebody figure that out?
Maybe there was a thing where they had to re-examine a body, so they had to dig back up the grave.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Happens way more often than people think.
True. Well, with him losing his job, obviously the family was forced out of the house that was next to the gravesite because that house went with the gravedigger job.
Wait,
It's bugging me because I know there's a name to it.
what, for the job?
No, the house. There's a name for it. Parsonage. Parsonage. The house is called a parsonage. A parsonage is a job or a house that goes with a job. Like a lot of pastors have a parsonage that goes with the church. Anyway, so where am I at? And this was like Gary had already been out of the house, so they ended up moving out of the home that Gary and Larry grew up in, and they ended up going and living in a one-room shack where Larry's bedroom was more or less a mattress in the corner of the living room that when they had company, basically got put up against the wall.
That's when you want a futon.
Those may not have existed back then. Well, they might have, because by this time he would have been in the 80s.
Futons have been around.
1980s.
Futons have been around since the 1500s.
I haven't been called futons the whole time.
Yeah, they have Japanese futons. Not the futon couch you're thinking of. Yes.
Just so everyone is aware, this is the kid that I have an argument on whether the sky is blue and the grass is green, because it is not always blue and it's not always green. So these poor little kindergartners that are making pictures with the sun that's yellow, blue skies, and green grass, this kid, no, he would have made his kindergarten pictures with a gray sky and brown grass. Okay, I got that out. Okay, good. But I did forget to mention that when Larry and Gary were 15, they did get into some trouble because they both got arrested for breaking windows of a downtown storefront. And
Expensive windows.
Oh, it gets better. The officers that arrested them said that they were harder to crack than most hardened criminals at the time. Yeah. And after high school, Larry got a job as a janitor, and that's when he started to take part in Civil War reenactments and that around the country. And that's about, okay, according to his brother Gary, the reason he really got into these, other than he was actually interested, was Gary said it was Larry's way of covering his lack of personal hygiene and to act upon his violent urges. Okay, but I'm gonna just preface this right now. Larry's only been convicted of 2. He is suspected up to as many as 50. So in the early 80s, when he started going in these reenactment things, I am going to give off alleged victims. I am literally going to basically read this almost word for word off of the Wikipedia page because there's just no other way to do it. So, on June 28th, 1982, 19-year-old Naomi Lee Kidder left Buffalo, Wyoming with a bunch of friends, and they were en route to Rawlins, Wyoming. They stayed at the Travel Lodge Hotel until June 29th, 1982. And oh, Kidder, or I'm not going to say their last names. I'm going to actually give them their first names. Naomi Kidder, she left to go hitchhiking, and that was the last time she was seen alive. On September 10th, 1982, her nude remains were found in Natrona County, and it appeared to be a partially dug grave. She was finally identified. She was a Jane Doe. Now remember, she was found September 10th, 1982. She was identified March 10th, 1993 through dental records. Her cause of death was ligature strangulation. And Larry is considered a viable suspect because document, when he finally got arrested, he had a document that had Naomi's name on it found in his possession when he was arrested. On September 6, 1986, the body of a young woman was found nude, strangled, and sexually mutilated a day after her death in a cornfield in Summerfield, Illinois. The unidentified woman was referred to by detectives as the Summerfield Jane Doe. She was buried in the Mount Hope Cemetery under a gravestone that said Jane Doe. Oh my God, I cannot talk this morning. Known only to God. Okay. She was found in 1986. She was identified in 2007 as being 26-year-old Eulalia Mila Lali Chavez. Ooh, that was a lot to say. After fingerprints from an arrest record were matched. And Hall is suspected in that one too. DNA evidence at the crime scene proved to be inconclusive against Hall's DNA. So, did he do it? Did he do it? We can't tell for sure. Now we're getting into where I don't like talking about, but Linda Lynn Weldy, age 10. She disappeared on February 24th, 1987.
Wait.
I didn't see that date earlier. After she was dropped off by her school bus near her home on McClung Road in LaPorte. Is it LaPorte or LaPorte? I'm gonna say both of them because then that way I don't get in trouble for how I pronounced it. Indiana. At about 3:30, her body was found 3 weeks later on March 17th. Next to an abandoned railroad track 9 miles away from where she was last seen. And she had been manually strangled. And according to investigators, Larry Hall was in the area at that time. At around 2 p.m. on June 4th, 1987, 16-year-old Wendy Louise Felton was in Marion, Indiana. She was at her house when her older sister took her parents to the airport for a business trip. And when her sister got back around 5 o'clock, Wendy had disappeared from her home, and all of her belongings that a 16-year-old, if they're going to run away, would take were all still in her house or in her bedroom. They lived about 25 minutes away from Wabash. And she lived not too far away from a reenactment site that Larry was known for visiting often. But detectives, they had ruled Larry out as a suspect.
Can I say something? The reenactors for Civil War gets paid $42 an hour.
Interesting.
It's like
Interesting.
he was making good money as just an actor, as a reenactor. And Indiana is like one of the higher paid. Like 42 is the average. Indiana.
Well, he wasn't very good because he went to get a movie audition for one of the silver actor, one of those movies that has that reenactment in it. He took his brother Gary with him for moral support. And Gary got the part. And it wasn't even Gary's thing. Okay, where was I? On September 2nd, 1988, in Chester, Illinois, 19-year-old Paulette Sue Webster was last seen walking home from a friend's house. She had not been... Oh, okay. I had to skim over my notes. The authorities initially believed that she had left on her own. Like, oh, she's 19. She's an adult. She can do whatever she wants. And so they believed that there wasn't any foul play. And in 2011, get out of the 1900s case, we're not there anymore. Larry Hall sent a letter to the author Christopher Hawley Martin, who was a Wabash native, and wrote a book about Larry, in which Larry claimed the responsibility of the Webster's murder. And he said that if he had taken Pauline, he would have took her to a remote location where she was kept and sexually assaulted for several hours. And then Larry would have thrown her in the Mississippi River or buried her. And Hall actually wrote, if I did it, I would have put her in the river or in a field. Now, we'll find out later on that he does have an ammo. He doesn't have a demographic person. I mean, obviously they're all females, but he doesn't have like a specific age group or, oh, I like brunettes, I like blondes.
It's white and Hispanic.
Okay.
I legitimately have the a thing from Radford University up for it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's victim types are prostitute, young, middle-aged women.
Okay. Well, except for the 10-year-old.
Young.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a 10-year-old is not a sex worker.
No,
We no longer use the word we no longer use the word prostitute. It is sex worker. I'm sorry, I'm going to argue that one back and forth with you. Okay. I'm getting to the end of this list.
I know the list is long. I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. On July 1st, 1991, Michelle Lee Dewey, a 20-year-old single mother, she was found strangled in her second floor apartment in Indianapolis. Her 18-month-old son was in a back bedroom with the door wedged shut. Thankfully, he was unharmed. Larry's twin brother Gary claimed that Larry confessed to Gary about that killing. And Larry's 1982 Dodge van was seen in the area that day. On August 19th, 1992, I am going to do my best to pronounce her last name. 22-year-old Lori Jean Dupes? I think it's Dupes. She was last seen at the Fox River Mall in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. Yeah, I remember this happening. She was entering her 1984 Volkswagen. I actually think this is about the time that I got obsessed with the Volkswagen Bug. She had gone from the mall because that was the last place she was seen. She went to her boyfriend's house in Menasha. God, I actually said that without saying Matrasha. It's Menasha. Okay, we have a friend that lives in Menasha, and she is really known for calling it Matrasha. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Cheapy Falls.
Okay, Dairy Queen. Inside joke. Maybe someday we'll tell the audience. Actually, we might actually do a Patreon on that, on explaining that whole thing. Well, she got to her boyfriend's house between 10:15 and 10:30 the night of August 19th, 1993. Or no, 92. I say 93. 92. I turned 12 that day. That just now dawned on you, didn't it?
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, that specific car would have been a diesel car.
Which one did you say?
The 1982 Volkswagen. I'm going to assume it's a Bug because at that time everybody wanted a Bug.
Or Rabbit.
But
it may have been a Rabbit.
Or a
it was probably a Rabbit. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was
but
diesel.
Or
I think it
was
was
her
diesel.
sister. Yeah, so her sister, her boyfriend, and a friend they had heard her car pull up.
Oh,
so
that's definitely diesel.
Assume it was a diesel. It's got to be a diesel if they heard it coming. But she never came into the apartment.
The thing has good mileage. Hey, what do you say when the thing has 35 miles to the gallon?
That's really good for a diesel. So they heard the car, but then she never come into the apartment. So they go out and they found that her car was locked in the parking lot, and on the hood they found a styrofoam soda cup on it. And that's why I remember this one so detail because all the news made a huge deal about that styrofoam cup, thinking that whoever took her might have taken the cup and like she had it in her hand and they took it and put it down. So they were probably thinking they were going to get fingerprints off of it
It
because
definitely,
they made
it definitely was a rabbit because
Okay.
Volkswagen Beetle could not put something on its hood.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it would slide right off. So her car was locked, her purse was in it, her overnight bag was still in it, and in 2010, Larry was first identified as a suspect in her disappearance. He had admitted to abducting and murdering her, but when investigators searched where Hall said he buried her, they were unable to locate her body or any other tangible. I can't say it. I just had to say it slow. Proof that she's never to this day been found.
There's no chance the color of the vehicle was yellow.
I don't know.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but that wasn't a rabbit.
Oh.
That was. Oh wait, yes, it might have been.
Yeah, I thought it was a rabbit.
Are you talking about the Jane Doe from Westby?
Yes.
Okay, then we are on the same. Okay.
We might want to do an episode on that.
I've already done an episode on that.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the 10 or 20, 30, 40, what's my name? Some of them I actually remember the titles of the episodes. I only have two more. And these are actually the two that he ended up getting convicted of. On March 29th, 1993, 19-year-old Trisha Lynn Reitler. She was walked to the Marsh Market supermarket, which was approximate. Oh, she was at the Indiana Wesleyan University. It's Wesleyan. How would you pronounce that?
Not even gonna try.
Wesleyan?
Not even gonna try.
Okay. She was in her dormitory studying for a test and everything. As she got up, she basically was walking half a mile where she went and got a soda and a magazine, and then before leaving the store, she intended on returning back to the dormitory in Browman Hall. And that's when authorities believe she was abducted, was on her way back. Now I'm going to read the last of this. Authorities believe she was abducted during her return journey between the store and the university, close to Siebold Pool and Center Elementary School. Reitler's bloodstained pants, shirt, and shoes were found in a field. Investigators found maps, ether, photos, and newspaper articles concerning Reitler's inside Larry Hall's vehicle. Additionally, there were handwritten messages that described Hall stalking women outside a grocery store where Reitler was last seen. Hall eventually withdrew his confession, so he confesses to these murders. And then the next day, no, I was telling you about my dream. That was his thing. He would confess, And then he recant by saying that he was telling the investigators and detectives about his dreams. The one that got him caught was September 23rd, 1993, when 15-year-old Jessica Lynn Roach went missing at 3:30 p.m. riding her bicycle near her home in Georgetown, Illinois.
Wait, she was riding her bike at what time?
3:30 p.m. So
Oh.
basically, she'd just gotten home from school and she was out riding
I thought
her
you said
bike.
AM for a second, and that's why I'm like, what?
No, p.m. Post morning. Did you know that's what p.m. stood for?
I think I did actually.
Okay. So what happened was his Dodge van that Larry was known for driving was seen in the area when Jessica went missing, and there was two 14-year-old Georgetown girls. They had reported to the police they had been followed by a man in this van. These girls were smart. They got the license plate, but they could only remember part of it. So the police, they did their little thing. Oh, that comes back to Larry Hall. That's a visitor.
I don't even know where Mike
He
is.
always makes it. He always makes an appearance, doesn't he?
Yeah,
This is
Backroads
the
does.
pretty boy. Yeah. He also knows not to walk on the keyboard. That's why Bella's not allowed in here. So they found him, come back, and he happened to be in the area at the time. And he basically he was the only one that had details on what happened to Jessica with the abduction. But once again, I was telling you about my dream. He confesses, and he confesses things that nobody else would know. And then he tells them that it was just a dream. So they did finally find him guilty in June of 1995 for the abduction and the murder of Jessica Roach. And they were able to do that, and at the time they were actually able to link him to Trisha Reitlers. But the rest of them, he's just suspected in the rest of them, but there's high suspicion that he's involved with that. So after he gets sentenced, basically he got sentenced to life.
Without
because
parole.
Wisconsin does not have. We don't have death row in Wisconsin.
No, and he's not in Wisconsin. He is.
Yes, he is.
Nope. He actually this.
Oh no, never mind. I had him mixed up with
last week.
Christopher Scarver. Yes.
'Cause
Wow.
Because he's in the Bruno Psychology Institute in North Carolina right now.
Oh, thank you. See, I do my research, and what I don't do, Quentin does.
Oh no, I'm still looking at that document I told you about.
Oh, okay. So they're trying. So once he's sentenced and put in prison, he had only been convicted of the 2 crimes. You know what? I just realized. I bet that helped a little bit. I forgot to turn the light on. Not that it's doing any good because the cat's right in the way. Ah,
Back roads. Down.
how did you see him?
There's shadows.
Oh, okay. Kind of creepy. Uh, they wanted him to actually confess, but they needed to go another way about it. So there was the FBI reaches out to a Chicago businessman named James Keene. James Keene was serving a 10-year sentence for drug conspiracy charges. And the main reason is Larry was going to appeal his conviction for Jessica Roach, and he would have probably won it for the kidnapping. But they knew that James Keene, he was notorious for just his charisma and getting people to talk. What are you looking at? It's kind of weird.
Oh, remember I have like 4 different screens.
Oh,
So I'm just looking at
and I
something.
only have 2. And so they offer him a full immunity and to basically erase his whole tenure thing if he's willing to go in to this maximum security prison and become friends with Larry. All right, I don't need the notes anymore. I know the rest of this. So he goes in. He makes friends with Larry. Like he realizes, oh, okay, the guy spends a lot of time in the library and he's like and the wood shop. When Larry's in the wood shop, he's making ravens out of wood and Jimmy Keene. I forgot his name already. Uh he makes friends with him and whatnot. And in the process, he's like, hey, what are all these birds for? And he's like, would they watch over the dead? Well, Larry had a handmade map that he had little dots on. And he put the ravens on these dots. And he told James or Jimmy Keene that the ravens watched over the dead. So it was suspected that where he had these ravens over the map was where he had buried the bodies. Well, eventually, Larry kind of sort of confesses to James or to Keene, but doesn't. And with Keene being part of the FBI, and he wants out. He makes the friends with Larry, finds out about this map, and he calls the FBI and leaves a message. Thinking, okay, I left my message. I'm good. I'm going to be out of here. He goes back and he gets right in Larry's face. You sick MF. How dare you do this? Like, just railroads him. Keenan finds himself in solitary confinement for about 2 weeks. The FBI didn't get his message right away. They didn't get the message till about 2 to 3 weeks later. By then, Hall had been confronted by Keene. FBI finally gets Keene out. He gets his full his full commuted sentence.
Not commuted sentence. Pardon.
Pardon, yeah.
I had to think. I had to think about turkeys.
Thank you. That's a good way of thinking of it. And when the FBI goes to find this map and the ravens, the wood carvings, they're gone. Because Keene called him out on it. And the FBI did not get. And then Jimmy Keene, he decides to write a book. And the book is called, oh, just give me a second. I know the name of this. Of course, the one piece of paper I want is stuck. Oh, what is? Oh, in with the devil, a fallen hero, a serial killer, and a dangerous bargain for redemption is the name of the book. There was also a movie made out of this
Blackbird.
whole scenario. Yep, that would be the movie. I have never seen it, but there's a lot of stuff in it from what I've been doing the research on. There's a lot of stuff that is left out of the movie. Like the whole part about Keene. The movie is based off of Keene's point of view, not off of Larry Hall's. So like Hall's younger years and the kind of the environment he grew up in, from what I'm understanding, really aren't shown. And then there's also parts of the way he confronted Larry. The way he confronted him and the way that the movie shows are two different ways. But like you just said, he is now got life imprisonment without patrol. Without parole. Tomorrow's gonna be worse because I'm running on like no sleep right now and I'm not getting any nap today. And where'd you say he's sitting at again?
Bluntler Psychology Institution in North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I should have said that at the beginning, which kind of like he had like all of the makings of a serial killer, the bedwetting, the
Born in December.
if you would, I never put that together.
Yeah.
Remember when I had you look him up about a week or so ago? Just the picture?
Yeah.
Remember what I said who he reminded me of?
Yeah.
That person also has a December birthday.
Yeah. It's just a lot of serial killers are also born in December.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. September and April, or December and April. Those are the two big ones. Yeah, I know. I realized what I said after I said it. But yeah.
JJ and Xander?
And not just the bedwetting, but even Gary said that he knew something was wrong with Larry when they were kids because he woke up a couple different times where Larry was like standing over top of him like with a mallet or a stick or something that's going to start beating Gary's head in with it. But that is the story of Larry Dwayne Hall. Because all serial killers, or 97% of them, have 3 names. What you got for me this week, Quentin?
The first thing I got is the states where all the killings occurred. It's in a very weird order, by the way. Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Missouri, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Alabama. If you look on the map, it does a really weird little loopy thing.
Oh, okay.
And what
I don't have a map in front of me.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, I don't have a map in front of me. I have an atlas because when I was trying to get a map, because I wanted for the longest time is to get a map to put behind me so I could have done, like, I have red yarn and I have thumbtacks. And I wanted to put, like, okay, I've done it here and then string it across. And yeah, that was my, but I couldn't get a map. And I'm not taking the road atlas and putting the map together for the United States. Just not happening.
I'm gonna totally mess up this town's name. So we're going to go into the deep into a haunted forest of Connecticut to explore the legend of Doodleytown, often referred to the village of the dam.
It's Dudleytown.
Dudleytown.
I'm pretty sure it's Dudleytown.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna just do something.
Can we pause a second? I gotta pee.
Yes.
Now you're focused.
Yep. I had a really weird little thing with that.
I'm thinking I need to put a pillow in here so I sit up a little higher.
Or you can just do this. My chair's all the way down.
It is all the way up.
Oh, so
And it is all the way up.
Is mine up?
I think.
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, mine's not all the way up.
You're going down.
I just went way down. I went way down. Wow. But I can't touch the floor now. I'm short.
I can touch the ground with mine all
Yeah,
the way
that is better.
S-
That is much better.
So the village of the dam. A place so shrouded in darkness and mystery, it's been abandoned for over a century.
Okay.
And where visitors report strange whispers, shadowy figures, and overwhelming sense of dread. It's there.
I have that every day I go to work.
But it's asking if it is truly cursed, or is it a legend mixed with mythology and history, and twisted over time. So
Ooh.
where the town is nestled in a dense forest of Cornwall, Connecticut. Lies the remainers of the town. What is going on with behind you?
Kitty.
Okay.
It's my fat man. It's my fat man.
The settlement
He'll make another appearance.
It was in the 18th century. It was thriving until the 18th century, until it became synonymous with tragedy and misfortune.
Synonymous. That was a big word for you.
Despite its name of I'm gonna keep calling it Doodleytown.
It's Dudleytown. It's gonna bug me.
Was never.
You know what? For the people that live there. Oh, wait, you said it's abandoned.
It's
People don't
abandoned.
live
It's
there
not,
anymore.
nobody's lived there since the 18th century.
I'm not comfortable.
Was actually never a town. It was
Okay.
It was a hamlet within the township of Cornwall. I can say Cornwall though. So, ha.
That's because you've played the game Cornhole.
And I'll still whoop anybody's butt at it. It's like
Oh, shut up.
it was settled in the early 1740s by Thomas Gifter, followed by the oh my god, this is gonna be really bad because it's their family name. A Drury family. By the way, if you have that last name, why would you name your kid Gilligan?
Gildian.
Yes.
Gildian. It's Gildeon, right?
Nope. Gideon.
Gideon. It'd be Gideon.
Okay, that's even worse.
I know.
In 1747, and later by a Brazilian and Abby. Okay, I want to say Abigail, but that's totally wrong because there's no G in it. Abiel.
Abel?
I don't know.
Abel. Nope, Abel. Yeah, it's Abel in the Bible. That's Abel.
Oh. The name itself initially fueled the legend that because the family was influenced, like they were influenced family with ties to England. Oh yeah, this is in North England. That makes sense. But their
I
past.
thought you said it was in Connecticut.
New England, not North England.
Yeah,
But
Do you know geography?
not at all. It's not like I A's world geography and normal geography.
Obviously, because New England is like Connecticut, Maryland, Rhode Island, Maine.
Kentucky.
No. I want to say maybe Pennsylvania.
Yes, Pennsylvania, definitely. Pennsylvania
Yes.
was the first state, so yes. But there,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Wait, if you ever looked on how big Pennsylvania was supposed to actually be, it was supposed to go from one side of the country to the other.
No, I never did, but here's the thing is the whole west side of the Mississippi was one full territory.
Yeah.
Before it was bought and then
No, it's really weird. It was really weird with the Pennsylvania territory. Like, it was supposed to be, and then it didn't. Like,
okay.
but their family actually was marked with a sinister history. Their family
Okay.
lineage tracks back to Emerald I want to say Doodley.
Try and say Doodley, but we all know it's Dudley.
Dudley, an English nobleman executed for treason in the 1510s. Weren't expecting an execution.
Wow.
An execution, were you?
No, it was not.
Some believe that his execution was the curse of the Dudley. I'm never gonna be able to say Dudley bloodline. Dooming future generations to misfortune and ruins. The alleged curse said to follow them across the Atlantic to the new settlement in Connecticut.
Oh, I just had like a light bulb go off. I had a total light bulb moment. I know this story.
Nope.
Oh, I think I do. Just keep talking.
Where disaster after disaster befell those who lived there. So the tragedies that happened in the town over years, disturbing number disturbing number of unfortunate.
That's all, folks. Let's try that again.
The worst part is the word I was trying to say. This is not even in my notes. Disturbing number of unfortunate events took place in the town. One of the earliest records tragedy involved a resident named Nathaniel Carter. After living in Hamilton for a time, in the hamlet, so basically the township. So this is more of a township, not a town, even if it's called a town.
Yeah, the town I grew up in is a township.
Nope.
It's not a town.
No, like what I mean is
Nope. I take that back.
it was a village. But no,
It
this
was a
is
village. The one down the road was a township.
yeah, it's just really weird on like how it went. Carter decided to leave, move into his family in Brigham, New York. Wow, I should have known how to say that. But tragedy struck as soon as after his entire family was slaughtered in Native American raids. Their home burned to the ground. Some believe it was the first major sign of the so-called Doodley Curse. I like
It just sounds so much fun. It's so much funnier when you say doodly curse.
after after another unsettling account that revolves around a General Herman Swift. By the way, I've never heard of him, but apparently he's a Revolutionary War hero who lived in the town.
He wasn't a very good war hero because I've never heard of him either.
With his wife Sarah.
But they're without the H?
With the H.
Okay, that makes it a little better.
The couples enjoyed a peaceful life until one day Sarah was reportedly struck by lightning and killed instantly.
Well, that was an electric shock to her system.
General Swift.
That's hard for you to say, isn't it?
No, his name is seriously General Swift. You know how funny that is?
You didn't have a General Swift, did you?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I had to think about that for a second. General Swift was never the same after that. His grief quickly turned into...
He wasn't so swift about it, was he?
No, his grief turned quickly into madness. He was swift to go to madness. And cities oh my god.
I'm going to be crying.
He was soon instituted dying a broke man, so he went into an insane asylum.
Oh, so he had a broken heart.
Yep. And the tragedy continued. Families reported mysterious illnesses, disappearances, cases of insanities, crops withering, livestock dying without explanation. Which just reminds me of the Skinwalker Ranch for some odd reason.
Which is really weird because it reminds me of a horse. I can't remember the horse's name, though.
And the settlement began to whisper that something evil lurked in the woods surrounding them. I mean, if you get struck by lightning, that's...
I thought she died.
She did!
The weird stuff happened after she was struck.
No, it was multiple things.
Besides swiftly going nuts, and they think women are having... I'm sorry, but when a man goes nuts, it's a whole lot worse than when a woman goes nuts. Because at least women know they're going nuts. Men don't realize they're going nuts until they're completely insanely nuts.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Now, by the late 1800s, the town was completely abandoned. Like, it said that whoever stayed too long either vanished without a trace or was driven to madness. The forest got the nickname the Dark Entry Forest, which, so that's what covers the settlement now. So it's been reclaimed by nature, so nothing really of the things happened.
So in other words, what you're saying is the trees aren't perfectly aligned.
Yes. So, and then in the 19...
You might actually go in that one.
And, In the 1920s, the land was purchased by a private group known as the Dark Entry Forest Association. Which, why would you name your thing that?
I don't know.
Which sought to protect the area and prevent further trespassing. So people been wanting to go there just to explore it.
Blair Witch.
Now you're saying that, was there anything with the witch? Connecticut had a lot of witches.
Yes, but the witch trials were Salem. And that was Massachusetts. And I'm sorry if I said Massachusetts wrong. I am from Wisconsin, and I have a Wisconsin accent. No matter what anybody says, it's not Minnesotan.
I still like how you're mad about that one.
I'm always going to be mad about that.
And then my accent?
Oh, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for you to do it. Because I will call you out so damn quick you won't know what hit you.
So now, the paranormal phenomena. Wow. I get sort of over my shirt.
We should not record on Tuesdays, and we should not start at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is not a good. This one, we better get some views on this. Is all I gotta say.
There's with as many people as that actually visited before they finally were able to like make sure people could not get into it anymore. Was they described a chilling, silent, and unnatural stillness. So pretty much you didn't hear birds or anything like that when you were in there.
That's creepy.
So where even the birds refused to sing, which I just said. Some even reported hearing faint whispers and disembodied voices calling their names. Others have seen dark figures darting between the tree lines or fuddly feel.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yes.
How do you know they're dismembered bodies that are talking to you?
Disembodied voices. Basically, there's no body to the voice.
Oh, so it's like a ghost.
Yes.
Okay, I totally misheard you, Ron. I know exactly how this description's going.
One of the most, felt a sudden overwhelming sense of despair. One of the most terrifying accounts for this happened in the 1990s. So I'm saying these guys tried to close this place in 1920. The dark forest and the dark entry.
70 years.
Yeah, the Dark Entry Forest Associated purchased the land in 1970 or 1920. The most terrifying account happened in 1990s.
Okay.
Who reported seeing a hooded figure standing at the edge of the woods, and they turned to leave. The figure suddenly disappeared, but the group heard footsteps following them all the way back to their car. No one else was around when it happened. My first thought was Red Riding Hood.
See, that
Wait, that's even more creepy. What I just thought.
Yeah, that is a little more creepy. My first thought was the Jersey Devil.
I don't know why I thought Red Riding Hood, but that is actually even more creepy. That one. Some believe the curse is not a simple old legend, but something very, very real, and the energy clings to the land itself, feeding off those who dare to trespass. Others argue the resorts may be a result of mass hallucination, overactive imagination, or even high levels of electromagnetic energy in the area that could cause paranoia and hallucination.
Paranoia? Is that what you were trying to say?
Yes.
You said paranoia. You did not say paranoia. I don't know what you said, but it was not paranoia.
So So the town so do you think the town is cursed? Or do you think it's just an eerie history mixed with the folklore and
I
superstition?
think it's probably just more a folklore. Or
For-
folklore, not a folklore. Wow. Yeah, this description's definitely going to say Quentin and Casey cannot talk today, and they should not start recording at 8:00 in the morning.
So, though there is one thing we do know about the thing is that trespassers are quickly turned away from local authority, and the land is still under protection of that weird entity association. You know, the first
It's
time
the entity of the
no, it's the dark forest
it's
entry
dark
forest.
Basically, they name themselves after the forest.
Though I'm pretty sure the forest wasn't actually, what was the forest called? No, I'm pretty sure that forest wasn't actually called the Black Forest, though.
No, it was called the Dark Forest.
Hold on, let me just see if I can find what the forest name was. I don't know what the forest is actually called.
Anybody that was actually listening to if anybody was actually listening or paying attention, you know what it was called because Quentin said it at one point, but we can't find it, and I don't remember what it was.
But the thing is, the land is still protected by the association, and a lot of people are wondering if it is protected by land from the vandalism that's been happening there, or are they trying to keep something from escaping? Which my first thought was something I like to read is called the SCP Foundation, which is secure, contain, protect. And it's like a science fiction thing with like really bizarre.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Bizarre stuff. And so whether if you believe the legend or curses, Doodly Town has been known as one of the most haunted places in United States, or is an ancient curse.
Which is where New England is, not Upper England. Because Upper England is in Europe, which is not in the United States. Because the United States is in North America, because Quentin does not know geography. And that is why they say Marines use crayons.
They're chewy. So that's all what I have for this curse. Dougley, I do not have to say the township's name. Are you okay there?
Yep. Yep. You got me I got the giggles from the chewy.
And the cat's just going.
Mine?
Yes, yours.
Mine's not even in here.
Yeah, he look behind it. Please tell me there's an animal back there.
That's Bella.
Okay, I'm like, please tell me there's an animal back there, because if it's not, I just saw your thing do this.
Kind of creeped me out. I seen it too. I'm like, because I heard her upstairs. I didn't see her come down, because usually she's across the computer.
So that's
maybe she's finally learning.
That's everything I have for the curse.
Okay. This has been an episode.
It has been.
Yeah. You realize that we've been doing this for an hour and 42 minutes now.
Yep.
Yeah. Have fun editing.
This is going to probably be one of the longer episodes too, isn't it?
I think anytime I do a serial killer, it ends up being a little bit longer, especially if there's multiple victims.
I'm still confused.
Wow, I almost did not say victims. I almost said victors.
We're probably gonna have to end the podcast here before we both break.
Yeah.
It seems like neither of us can talk today.
No, we can't. We can't do this on Tuesdays anymore unless we just want to really throw. You're watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, hit your like, follow on Facebook, Instagram.
Are you doing anything on Instagram?
If people would actually do anything on it, I might.
I don't. I can't touch Instagram.
I do. I have it all set up. I'm still trying to figure out how to post on Instagram. Okay, I'm old. All right, give me a break. I'm old.
Patreon is still is going to be in the description of YouTube and Spotify. Should be on all the other descriptions as long as it's in the Spotify one. I do not know.
If what's in there?
The link for Patreon.
Oh yeah, it is. It was. It has been.
Oh, and then also we'll have the Discord that where we're actually recording, where you guys can actually talk into it too. You can also join that too. Make everything a little more interesting. This means we get more cases.
Yeah. And if you have a personal story of any sort that we would love to do a your guys' stories, and we're actually, Quentin doesn't know this yet, but we're gonna call them their stories. Like a lot of other ones have other names for them, and I'm like, I don't know where to go with it, so I figured their stories, which is your guys' stories. So send them in to let's tell their story at gmail.com.
Or post them in the Discord if you don't want to do the email.
Well, yeah, if you post them in Discord, Quentin will end up reading yours. If you send them to the email, I'll end up reading them because Quentin's lucky I can actually hit the button to get my camera to do all this.
Yes.
All right, but we gotta go because it's been almost 2 hours and we cannot talk. So, love you. Bye.
Stay curious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be gone. See you guys.